Namaste, explorers. This week we're in none other than India. Now, the entree this week is going to be chicken makhani with basmati saffron rice and some naan bread. So come on and let's get shopping. Namaste. The produce section of the grocery store. Here we're going to get some cilantro, some jalapeno peppers, some onion, tomatoes, and some ginger and garlic. So come on, we'll pick that up and then head to go get our chicken and then on to our spices. We'll grab a red onion and a white onion. Alright y'all, we are on to get our chicken for our chicken makhani. Now with this dish y'all, you can use chicken thighs, chopped up chicken thighs. Me personally, I am a breast person, so I'm going to use boneless chicken breast. Now on to the spices, my favorite part, y'all. Cinnamon sticks, very important. Now, I'm using saffron. This little guy packs a lot of beautiful colors. So we got some saffron. Explorers, down we have all our ingredients. We're gonna go ahead and go to the checkout.
Take care.
You as well. Explorers, we have all our ingredients to go home and make our chicken makhani with our naan bread and our basmati saffron rice. So let's go home and get cooking. Namaste, explorers. We're just back from the grocery store. For those just now tuning in, welcome. This week we're in India, and the entree this week is going to be chicken makhani with basmati saffron rice and some naan bread. Now, explorers, before we get started, I do want to take time to thank Sanskriti's Boutique here in Jacksonville for my beautiful attire this evening. We also like to give shout outs to Feast Teas and Things for our beautiful decorated plates this evening. The flavors of India are going to be so robust this evening, y'all. I'm super excited. First time ever trying a lot of things, so hashtag Food Explorer Live. The ingredients that we're going to be using, we're going to use salt, sugar, and baking soda. We'll get to that a little later. Vegetable oil, onions, Greek yogurt, tomatoes, our homemade ginger and garlic paste, and I mean homemade, basmati rice, flour, chicken, and of course a slew of spices. And we have cashmere red chili pepper, fenugreek, ground masala, which homemade ground masala, we'll get into how we made that as well, coriander, cilantro, jalapeno, red chili peppers, saffron, salt, turmeric, and of course cinnamon. Let's get started. We're going to do our spices and put some yogurt in it to season up our chicken. Put it in the refrigerator for 30 minutes while we start to work on our naan bread. The spices that we will be using for our chicken, we're going to use some ground masala, which you can always buy it at the store, but I chose to make mine. It consists of cumin, cardamom, nutmeg, cinnamon, ground cloves, black pepper. Now there are other variations, but that is the base of a ground masala. We're also going to use some red chili powder. Now this chili powder, if you're not into spice, you know what I always say, less is more, less is more, but it also brings a beautiful rich red color that we really are going to use and love. We're also going to add in some cardamom, a little bit of salt, and I'm adding an additional, doesn't call for turmeric, but I'm adding in turmeric. And we're going to mix that up. Y'all, it smells so fragrant in here. Just the chicken itself, oh my Lord, it smells so good. And after we season it, we're going to add in some yogurt, and then we're going to put it in the refrigerator and let it marinate for 30 minutes. We'll have to add, and I almost forgot, the garlic and ginger paste. Traditional Indian homes, the mothers make everything by hand. And when I say I applaud all mothers for making it by hand, because I grounded this garlic ginger paste and I don't know how they do it on a daily, but even to their own flour, everything is homemade. They even make their own flour, y'all. So I applaud you and thank you for all of your teachings and your techniques. I may not be homemade all the way, but I'm trying. Hashtag Food Explorer Life. Let's go ahead and add in some of our ginger garlic paste. All right, explorers, while our chicken is marinating, we're going to go ahead and get ready for our naan bread. Now, with the naan bread, we're going to use 1 cup of flour. And then we're using a 1/4 cup of baking soda, sugar, and salt. And we're going to make a little hole. Well, first we're going to finely mix it. And like I said, because a lot of the traditions are homemade, a lot of the dishes in India are homemade dishes, we are going back and we're using our hands and we're going to knead the dough just like they do. So I'm kind of excited about this, y'all. Now the next ingredient we're going to use is a 1/4 cup of, now the key is it has to be room temperature yogurt. And I'm using Greek yogurt, non-plain Greek yogurt. So, but you can use whatever yogurt you choose. Hopefully it'll be plain, but it doesn't have to be Greek yogurt. But you want it, the key is you want it room temperature. So let me grab a measuring cup so we can get that started. All right, so we have our 1/4 cup of our room temperature yogurt. And then we're also going to need, you want warm water. It doesn't need to be hot, but you're going to need a 1/4 cup of warm water, excuse me, and then a 1/2 teaspoon of vegetable oil. So, and now I'm just going to mix in a circular motion the yogurt along with the flour, sugar, baking soda, and salt. Now, the reason why you do want it room temperature is because if it is cold, it will stick to your hands. And it's not what you want. You don't want the bread to stick to your hands. You want it at a nice consistency. And once it's all kneaded out, it will be nice and fluffy. And then you'll sit it and refrigerate it for 2 hours before you take it to roll it out and cook it. Naan bread is traditionally cooked in a tanador, but this evening we don't have one, so we will be using a non-stick, and it's very important you use a non-stick skillet for this. Just gonna keep kneading it. And now we're going to add our 1/4 cup of warm water. my hands are tired. But once you do this, you want your dough to be able to have a little bit of snap back. It should be a little smushy, like this. See, it's coming back up. And then you're gonna put it in, and I put mine in a Ziploc bag, and then we let it do its thing for 2 hours. So, let's go ahead and get this in a Ziploc bag so we can get started on our saffron basmati rice. Did you know in the Hindu religion, they believe all people have 3 eyes? 2 physical eyes for seeing the external world, while the 3rd eye focuses inward towards God. Now, the bindi, which is right here, my red dot, bindis facilitate one's ability to access their inner wisdom and see the world in an unbiased and truthful manner, as well as forsake their egos and false labels. It serves as a constant reminder to keep God at the center of one's thoughts. The red dot bindi represents married women, while traditionally the black dot bindi represents unmarried women. Now, in modern day India, you'll see bindis that have different jewels. They'll be made of gold with emeralds and crystals and diamonds. You'll also see different colors as women use them as an accent to wear with their saris. What do you know? Modern day fashion. Kind of cool. All right, explorers, we are at the stove so we can get our basmati saffron rice on. We have our saffron steeping right now. Look at that beautiful color, y'all. I'm so excited to make this rice. Y'all just don't understand all the beautiful colors, the fragrant smells. I feel like I'm in India. So what we're going to do now that we have our butter browned, we're going to add in our rice. And we're not going to fry it. We don't want to brown the rice. But we're going to add in the rice. And then from there, we're going to add in our saffron water, cover it, and let it cook and do its thing. Adding in our saffron water. See the color of the water. Oh, so beautiful. Y'all, it is just so bright in here. It just brightened up my whole life. Brought me joy, joy, joy. I cannot wait to eat. We may not be able to go to India, but let me tell y'all, we have India in this kitchen, okay? India actually has everything. If you're one who likes nature and one who just wants to meditate and be amongst the water as well as the Himalayan mountains, they have that. If you're one who likes the hustle and bustle of the cities and you just want to shop till you drop, they have that. Historians who just want to see all the historic things, from the monumental buildings to the ancient temples, they have that. And even those who just want to kick back, relax, be on a gondola or even on a beach, guess what? They have that too. All of that awaits you straight from India. Oh, my Lord. All right, y'all, we're going to go ahead, cover it up, turn our fire down, and let the rice cook. Explorers, our rice is complete. I'll show that a little later, and y'all, it looks and smells good. Now, what I did do is I added some salt, and of course, I added fresh cilantro to our saffron rice. Right now, we got our butter melting in the pan so we can get our chicken on. Now we got a little sizzle on. We're going to go ahead and add in our chicken. The aromas that I'm getting from here, I'm getting that fresh ginger and garlic paste. Oh, I also added a half a lemon juice to this mixture. Getting the garlic and the ginger, oh my God, y'all, all the stuff's blending together. It smells so delicious. We're going to fry that up, and then we're going to remove the chicken, add in our tomatoes, our peppers, fresh cilantro, cardamom, red chili pepper, the fenugreek, and we're also going to add in some ground masala to make our sauce. We have our chicken already done out of the pan, and we're using the same pan. We're just going to throw some butter in it, and we're also going to use some oil, vegetable oil, and then we will drop in our onions and we'll get them going. And then after that, we're adding in all our spices to make our tomato based gravy. All right, adding in our finely chopped onion. Oh my Lord, yes. Now for the fun stuff. Adding in some ground masala, some coriander. Of course, we're adding in 1 jalapeno and 1 red pepper. I went ahead and took the seeds out of that. Adding in some cinnamon sticks. Y'all. I want to add in some cilantro. Of course, some salt. A little bit of turmeric. Now, this recipe does not call for turmeric, but once again, Food Explorer Life, I love trying new things, so I'm adding in some turmeric. Adding in the chili powder. Now, this chili powder does have a kick, so if you're not willing to have a big kick, less is more. Less is more. But also adding in our ginger garlic homemade paste. Oh my God, you guys, the aroma that is going on in this pot, it smells sweet, it smells spicy, it just smells good. I know that's probably not the best way to answer, but it does, y'all. It just smells good. Gonna let this stuff sit here and cook before we add in our vegetable of the week, which is going to be none other than our tomato. With the tomato, came to India by way of Portuguese explorers during the 16th century. Tomatoes are rich in vitamins A, C, and K. They also aid in cancer prevention. They help you improve your vision, as well as they boost digestion health. So now that we have all our ingredients in, we're going to sit here and let this cook down. We're also going to add a little bit of water to this, and we're going to let it cook until our tomatoes, are stewed and soft. Just checking in on our tomato based gravy, and y'all, it is looking good. Now once it cools, we will also blend it so we can get it into a fine gravy, and then we'll add the chicken back in, and after that we'll be almost ready to plate and taste. Now that our tomato gravy is cooling, so we can put it in the blender, I've gone ahead and already rolled out our naan bread, and we're going to move to the stove, fry that up, and after we fry it, then we'll add clarified butter and some cilantro for a finishing touch to it. Almost done with our Indian cuisine, so we can try it. Now I'm just throwing in some water to make sure our pan is hot enough. You do want a pan that sticks. You don't want a non-stick pan for this. I'm also rubbing a little bit of water on our dough, our naan bread dough, before I throw it in the pan. So this is the result of our naan bread right here. Beautiful. And now we are going to go ahead and butter this baby up. And then we're going to also add some fresh cilantro. And then this will be served alongside our chicken makhni with our basmati saffron rice. Just gonna lay it on thick. Now I do love cilantro, so I am laying it on thick. For those who don't care for cilantro, you don't have to add it, or you can just lightly layer. There are other recipes. Some call for garlic. Some people use parsley. Me, I love cilantro, so I stuck with cilantro. Then we're going to go ahead and slice it up. Now, what the result that you're looking for is going to be flaky on the outside and crispy, or flaky and crispy on the outside. And then on the inside, it's going to be soft, like fresh baked bread. All right, so we have our chicken in the pan, and now we're going to pull over our tomato gravy. It's just beautiful in color, rich in flavor, and I cannot wait to just indulge. I really can't. Now I am going to add a little bit of water to this, and then I'm going to let it cook down. All right, explorers, we have now finished our entree this week, which is going to be our chicken makhni with our basmati saffron rice and our naan bread. So excited to try. Shall we? Let's hit this chicken first. Okay. Has a kick, y'all. It does. It does have a kick. So remember, if you're not one who's into a whole lot of heat, less is more on the chili powder because you're using in the chicken as well as your tomato sauce. So you don't want to use a lot of chili powder, but it is a punch full of flavor is what I can call it right now. Y'all, now eating it with the rice does balance the heat, but it's just good. And the pop of cilantro that's coming out. Let's try this bread. Oh my God. 1 minute, explorers. I'm in India, so give me 1 minute. 1 minute. Okay, y'all. So the bread with the butter and the cilantro. Yes, cilantro. Okay. Yes, cilantro. Y'all, this dish here has made me just go to India. Explorers, we've now completed our 7th food expedition here in India. As always, thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Stay safe. Namaste. See you next week.